Hey guys, this is Deondray Gossfield, and this is my husband Quincy Gossfield, and we are the directors of Congo Cabaret, an award-winning short film that made the festival circuit this festival season. So we're here to talk about Smoke, Lilies and Jade. Now, Smoke, Lilies and Jade is an adaptation of an early masterpiece by Richard Bruce Nugent, and it was published during the Harlem Renaissance around 1926 in a little magazine called Fire. The reason we want to do this now is we want to reclaim our SGL Black heritage. You can't go forward if you don't know your past. We're really trying to capture the voice, the texture, and the tone of that era. So this project as a whole is really educational. Not only is it educational, it's entertaining, it's beautiful. If you know anything about Smoke, Lilies and Jade, it's a wonderfully written visual prose piece, and we are just really excited and can't wait to interpret that in film.
I also want to talk about the process in selecting the talent because, child, I don't know what it is about you two, but y'all know how to select the best male actors with the finest bodies, and I'm like, dang.
Look, we know what our audience loves.
I was dreaming. A poignant, beautiful dream. I was in a flower garden, canopied by spreading oaks and perfumed by fresh magnolia blossoms. I was in Eden. And then I became aware of a presence. An ivory body exuding some exotic perfume. This invisible presence called to me, lured me closer. Involuntarily, my eyes closed, and I was conscious of being sucked into it until there was a complete merging. For one moment, I experienced supreme ecstasy.
My name is Xavier Avila, and I play Alex.
Xavier is this, meaty, beefy, extremely gorgeous man. He has this. What I can say about Xavier, just as a person, he's such a kind-hearted, genuine, loving, sensitive man, and he doesn't carry himself like a beefcake. And so he was able to bring that innocence, that really sweet quality to the character.
I see Alex as someone who isn't entirely sure how to present his emotions and what he wants, and is very guarded. And he uses his poetry and love for art as a way to shield himself from what he knows to be reality, and that is he doesn't have a set direction. He doesn't know exactly where where his destination is, and I think that has been the main thing helping me with preparing for this role.
The funny thing is, Billy took that part without even knowing what the project was. He took the
Wow.
project on the strength of me and Quincy. So we kind of reached out to him, and we thought, there's supposed to be this narrator's voice, and Billy has such an iconic voice, and we're trying to think of who could, do this. And Billy was like somebody way out in the stratosphere that we thought would, not just he loves us, but he's busy. Exactly. I got a hold of him and thought I was going to have to do this whole song and dance and sell it. And I asked the question, and he said, yeah.
I can honestly say that I have lived a life of unproductive beauty. I have drawn, written, danced, charmed famous artists, bedded scores of men, was at the very heart of what they now call the Harlem Renaissance. Back then we called it Negroes Getting Over. I did what I wanted, and je ne regrette rien. But I find it ironic that I may go down in history as something I never was, a homosexual. It was more complicated than that. Harlem was more complicated than that.
Did you really have that dream?
You would ask that.
That's no answer. Did you really have that dream? I'm Markus Silberger, and I'm playing the role of Samuel. Did you ever have an affair with a woman?
Certainly.
Did you ever indulge in homosexuality?
And the lies, they just kept on coming. Have you ever indulged in homosexuality?
I shot him lightly, and he died politely.
If you really wanted to burn his tail, you could have asked him the same thing.
What do you think?
Have you ever known a church organist who ain't a sissy?
Samuel is an organist, and he is a closeted homosexual. And Samuel is somebody that is coming to terms with who he is. And it's scary. And I think for Samuel, the idea that he could come out is so profound and so distant that anybody that has the chutzpah to do it is so attractive to him.
My name is Kaylin Rivers. In Smoke, Lilies and Jade, I am the smoking girl, background extra, and I'm having a blast.
Hi, I'm Alexandra Grey, and I'm playing Melva.
You can't be an actress. You seem too shy. You
Okay.
way too shy to be an actor.
And then she shut us up real quick, went on to being transparent and the star of the last season of Empire. And it was, she showed us. But it's true that before that even happened, I had seen some work of hers on Transparent. And I said, oh my gosh, Quincy, look at Alexandra. She is no joke.
Mm-hmm.
And so we always wanted to be able to work with her. And then this project came around, and though the character we wanted her to play was cisgender, she because Alexandra's trans, and we thought,
wow,
are you serious? Yes, Alexandra.
Did you really have that dream, Alex?
Oh, you would say that, my dear.
And you know, one of my nicknames is the Sphinx of 136th Street.
I can never tell when you're being real or being poetic. Melva, I think, in this story, she is she's a part of the bourgeoisie. She seems like a very loving person, right? She really has this affection for, Alex. She's a smart woman. I think she knows what's going on. I think she's very aware of Alex and his feelings and his other life. I relate to Melva a lot. So there is some digging there, but I relate to her just because, I'm a woman who has been guarded, and who's loved a man. Being a trans woman, I think too, I've experienced guys who like men and women. And so I know what that is kind of like to be on the outside and to kind of not really know, am I what he wants, or does he want to be with a man? Am I not good enough? Maybe I'm not what he wants, you know what I mean? So I definitely relate to her a lot.
Hey, I'm Harry Fowler. I'm playing the role of Raymond.
And then Harry Fowler, Quincy, he came in as a submission as well. And that monologue it was long. It had to be somebody that could keep you captivated because we were not going to do any cutaway scenes or any flashbacks. So we knew the actor had to keep the audience's attention the entire time. And he did that.
He actually feels like someone from the period. Like Harry, just in his audition, just his haircut, just his whole demeanor I was like, wow, he felt the period. So I thought, he was perfect. And like you said, Harry is not hard to look at either.
I will tell you a bedtime story, but if you breathe a word of this, I will have you chased out of Niggerati Manor, Harlem, and the state of New York.
Pinky swear.
Raymond. Raymond is, I don't even think Raymond knows that he is attracted to men. I feel like he's had this sort of upbringing just of homosexuality is a sin. It's bad. Even though he's such a scholar and a writer and he has such a big imagination, I feel like he's still grappling with the fact that he may be attracted to Alex. I ain't no sissy. I got my eye on Louise.
And I got mine on Melva.
Yeah, I saw that from the other side of the room. Now, you two have been kissy-faced for a while now. Have you gotten beyond that?
You know Melva ain't that kind of girl.
And you're not that kind of chic. I don't even think you've done the do-I-diddy.
Oh, of course I have. I'm just not as experienced as you.
Right.
Hi, my name is Ernesto Reyes, and I'm playing Beauty.
And so Ernesto, he came through a submission, which was awesome because Ernesto is, again, another actor who's on the rise. You know, he's done American Gods. That love story, the way it's written, the way he falls so hard for beauty, the way he describes beauty. We had to find an actor that really embodied that passion, that just
that
laying
presence.
eyes. Yeah, that presence. And it's not just that he's got to be, good looking, but there's something about him that has to almost feel angelic. And when Ernesto's audition came in, I was literally at my computer like,
oh.
Scratch my head, please. I wonder why I like to look at some things. Like smoke and cats. And you.
I'm trying to find and having to find openness in myself and playing Alex as a straight man. This is something that is opening my eyes to so many things that I didn't really think about before or put in my own path of just how I go about my day-to-day.
No, I just hope that anybody who views it as a piece of love. We can be happier, find our true selves. I feel like that's a lot what Alex is doing, and a lot of what Raymond wants to do.
I think we need more stories like this because I'm tired of the slave narratives. There's so many layers to us. We are more than just civil rights and those type of movies. And I think we're starting to see that. I mean, with projects like Moonlight, right? With If Beale Street Could Talk, and I think this project is right along those lines because it's just a love story, right?
Fire, Lord, fire gonna burn up my soul. Fire, fire, my Lord, fire gonna burn up my soul. Fire, fire, Lord, fire gonna burn up my soul. Fire, fire, my Lord, fire gonna burn up my soul. Fire gonna burn up my soul. Fire gonna burn up my soul. Fire gonna burn up
Beauty's hair was so black and curly. His lips had pressed hard and cool. His breath had trembled. Breathe normally, Beauty. Breathe normally.